Welcome back to another video. We have got another T5. Just picked this one up, just got here. So I'll give you a little tour of what's wrong with it and what we have planned for it. Right, 2007 tailgate model, which is always a good thing. Panels fairly straight, a little bit of a graze at the bottom there. Yeah. There's a bit of a dent on the top of the door there. A little bit there, arch, little scrape, a little scrape on the arch there. But the main damage is to the front. So I've had a quick look. Obviously bonnet, intercooler, radiator, bumper, the reinforcer, the bumper reinforcer. Headlights look okay, and underneath I'm not too sure, maybe a slam panel, but it runs and drives. There's no water in the tank because of the radiators, but it does run and drive, and it drives actually really well. It's only done 107, I believe. I think it said 107. I'm not sure what the guy used it for. Fairly clean inside, didn't look like a builder's van or nothing like that, so a couple of the headrests are missing. Yeah, not too bad. Seats have come up with a clean. Not sure what we've got planned for this one at the moment. So obviously we'll start with the repairs, get it repaired. That would be the first thing. And once it's repaired, I don't know, then we'll just decide what we want to do with it. But we will also be giving this a full respray as well, because it's just, especially with red, the sun really gets to them and it fades it away. And the amount of bits it needs doing, it's not worth patching in, doing local repairs. Might as well just blow the whole lot over, and plus it'll be a lot nicer when it's done. So yeah, that's what we got planned for it. So we'll get cracking on with it, strip it down as usual, go through all the parts, see what we need, start putting it together, and we'll move on. We'll start off with the bumper, then you've got the reinforcer, which is at the back there. You'll see that better once I get the bumper off. We've got to get the headlights out, front panel, all the rads, intercooler, to make way for all the new bits. So we'll start with that. I mean, the bumper's practically hanging off anyway, but just got to undo it from under the wing, and we'll get the rest off. There's not a lot holding it on anyway, quite straightforward to get off. As you can see now, we have it fully stripped. There was no internal damage anywhere else. It was all quite straightforward. So the front bumper reinforcer took the main impact. There's a mount here which attaches to the engine. That's took a slight impact, so we'll have to order a new one of those. the subframe's okay. This little bracket here, which attaches to the front here, that's just for the front bumper to secure it. So we'll tidy it up, re-weld it and line it up with the bumper when that goes back on. But we need a front panel and a reinforcer, and obviously we need a new intercooler, radiator, and so on. So we'll get the bits and we'll start putting it together. We're removing the mount here. So obviously before you do remove this bolt or any of the bolts, is make sure you support it with a jack, just to relieve some of the stress off the mount. And then undo this mount, this bolt, sorry, pull that out, and then you have a bolt here and one exactly the same on the other side. So we'll get them off and put the new one on. Got the mount off now, and as you can see, I mean the subframe's fine, but where it actually bolts onto has lifted a little bit with the impact, so we'll bang that down just to get it nice and flat like the one at the back, and then we'll use a wire brush on it and give it a coat of paint just to protect it, and put a new mount on. So this is the mount. You can see it's taken a fair whack. There's a new one. That's what that looks like. That's what it's supposed to look like. So yeah, we've knocked that down now, sprayed it up, and that's ready to fit on now. So there we have it, one shiny new mount fitted. So that was an easy job. We'll go on now to straighten this this bar, weld it up now once we get it straight, and fit the rest of it up. So we've acquired all the bits we need: front bumper, front panel, rad pack, bumper reinforcer and the grille. So all we've got to do is fit all that back onto there. So let's get to it. Right, so what I've first done is attach the radiator, or rather the whole radiator pack, to the front panel, and this is simply done by on the top of here you have these mounting points. They're held in with them little torque screws, so there's one on that side and one over there, and on the bottom again it's got some mounts, these mounts here, and again just under there are some torque screws, and one on that side as well. So it's just easier if you bolt it all together, so it's all in place, it's not going to get damaged when you fit it. So that's that. Well, we've got it all back on now. No problems really, quite straightforward. As you remember when we're taking it off, you've got the two bolts at the top there, either side. You've got these ones here which bolt onto the inner wing. Don't forget to put all your pipes back, obviously. So you've got your oil cooler there for your power steering. You've got your intercooler pipes, need to be connected up. You've got the wiring harness for your fan, your cooling fan. There's a temperature sensor at the bottom of the radiator, just in there, and just above it is another hose, water hose, and you've got this hose here. So once that's all in place, oh yeah, and you got the bonnet catch to be clipped into all the clips and that. But yeah, going back to putting on the front panel itself, one thing I will point out is that with most vehicles, the front panel and the bumper reinforcer are two separate things, and although they are two separate things here as well, with this vehicle they actually interlock. Okay, so I put the front panel on first, went to put the reinforcer on, and it's not just a matter of bolting it up, it actually has to slip into the top there, into this bit. So what I suggest you do is leave these unbolted so you can pull the front panel out a little bit, slip this in from underneath, up it goes. Once it goes in, you bolt it up and then bolt everything else up. But other than that, very straightforward. So now that that's all on, naturally fill it up with water, make sure there's no leaks or anything like that, make sure the fan comes on and everything is good to go. So the next will be the bumper, and that's it really. The front will be reassembled. So when it comes to fitting the headlights back in, you've got two bolts down here, and you've got these bolts at the top. Now, I was having a bit of trouble lining it up to the wing. Okay, so what you've got to do is loosen these two again. Okay, push the front panel in, the headlight will butt up against the wing, problem solved. Tighten that up and you're good to go. So we've put the bumper on now. You've got one screw there at the back and the same on that side over there. They screw in from behind the front panel. You've got bolts in here, so bear that in mind before putting the grille back. Obviously the two that are inside of the wing and that bar that I welded up, there's 3 bolts under there. You can't actually see them, but there's 3 bolts under there that just hold the bottom, and that's good, and that's it. So once all that's in place and that's all secure, you've got that front grille, lower grille and the upper grille, and job done. Right, so that job's all done. It's all fitted up, check the headlights, everything's working. A few of the bulbs was blown, so we've replaced them. Water's not rad's not leaking, no leaky pipes or anything like that. Fan's coming on, so everything is good to go. We'll move on now to the next step of doing the repairs that's needed on it. Bonnet shuts properly. That is an important thing actually, thinking about it. Make sure you put the cable for the bonnet catch, because you don't want to shut that bonnet and not be able to open it. You definitely wouldn't want that. But yeah, pretty straightforward job, and she's looking much better now. At least she's got a face on her.